Back, ladies and gentlemen, 49 coming at you with another community shoutcast for the OUSA Dota League Season 1. Just moving into Game 2 of TYK up against 2IP. I'll be joined by my co-caster Yoshi from Team Blink. He'll be spectating from in-game. Yoshi, can you hear me? Yoshi? You there, buddy? Hopefully he'll be able to chip in. I know we usually have some mic issues. And so TYK took a dominating game 1 on the back of their team fight combination. Oh, he's just loaded in right now. Yoshi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Alright, cool. And so just...
my Dota's kind of... Hang on a sec.
Alrighty. So TYK in Game 1 were able to take a dominating lead using that teamfight potential of the Naga Siren in conjunction with their Dirge. What they did is they used the Song of the Siren with a 4-staff as well as a Blink Dagger so they could jump in, catch 3 or 4 players completely out of position. Dirge could run up, drop the Tombstone. With the 7-second duration of Song of the Siren, meant that TYK could start the fights with 2 or 3 zombies up on every single hero in range, so that meant that they won the fight before it even began. The instant Song of the Siren ended, Deathprof was able to land an excellent AoE silence on 2 or 3 heroes, usually the Chen as well as the Dragon Knight, rendering them completely inert during these fights. Next assassin would follow up with the double Impale, and then that instantly dropped them with Juggernaut coming in with that Omni Slash. Huge amount of wombo combo. Yoshi actually has to restart his Yoda too, so he will be temporarily gone from the cast. So just going to go over the bans coming out. We've got a respect ban Naga Siren. Valory over on TYK played an absolutely fantastic Naga Siren. Always able to catch out 2IP with that Blink initiation with the Song of the Siren. Ember Spirit and Naga Siren coming out as the first 2 bans from 2IP, as well as the first pick Dazzle, which is very interesting. As Dazzle, he's a very strong hero, but he's usually not considered first pick or second pick worthy, as his potential is limited based on the draft that you go for. It does give away a bit of 2IP's draft, as TYK know they want to have some kind of negative armor strat going on with that weave, as well as the fact that Dazzle doesn't offer too much aggressively. All he really has is that poison touch, like the Abaddon. His power comes from his defensive capabilities. He has that shallow grave, can provide 5 seconds of essential invulnerability to whatever hero you cast it on. So TYK choosing to ban out the Slark as well as the Visage. Respect ban coming out from TYK, as I believe it was Mule over on TIP, played a fantastic Visage, was able to punish the aggressive players whenever they didn't go on him, was able to throw out the Soul Assumptions, and with those Grave Shields, able to wreck face. Mirana and Nyx Assassin picked up from TYK, so most likely we'll be seeing a tri-lane Mirana and an off-lane Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin can serve as a tri-lane support hero with that Impale and Carapace. He offers a lot in terms of tri-v-tri situations. But the fact that he's very greedy in terms of EXP, he has to hit level 6 or level 7 before he starts to reach solo ganking potential. And so that's one of the reasons why he's best utilized in the offlane, as well as the fact that with Carapace, he's hard to dive on. The instant you go on him, you press E, you run like hell and you laugh. And with your extra HP regeneration, you can shrug off any harassment coming out. Well, Dazzle picked up. Would be interesting to see if 2IP actually choose to go for something like a Slada as their carry. Just going to quickly log out of Steam. And they've gone for Clockwork as a secondary pickup. Yoshi's reconnected in. Can you hear me now?
Radiant team ban.
Yoshi, you there? Alrighty, we'll have to check back on him later on. So Clockwork picked up as the offlane hero for 2IP. Very strong hero due to the fact that he's incredibly difficult to dislodge from a lane with the 5-second... Oh, hey man, you're back.
Yep. Yeah, the Clockwork's a solid kind of standard pick. I'm quite surprised to see the Dazzle first pick.
Yeah, I wasn't really too sure about it either. I guess they must be really confident in their Dazzle player, because Dazzle's usually not banned, so he slips his way through the draft.
I know he's very popular in the European scene at the moment, like the competitive scene.
Yeah, it's just because of the power of that Shallow Grave, and with the recent weave change, so it lasts for, I think, 24 seconds at all levels now, instead of lasting for 6 seconds, 12 seconds, and 18 like it did before. So that means that the armor duration is actually quite significant. And so Outwall Destroyer and Rubik, pretty standard bans, but would you care to elaborate on the Rubik ban?
Perhaps they're thinking of picking something that they don't want stolen, like the spell.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Tidehunter, or maybe like a Faceless Void. I know Rubik's an excellent counter to Faceless Void and Viper, because they don't really have any way to not give away their ultimate. Viper only has one spell, the Viper Strike, and Faceless Void, unless he catches Rubik out in his Chronosphere, is always going to get Chronosphere stolen returns.
5 seconds remaining.
It's not really that great to steal Chronosphere, because you can't. It doesn't work on Faceless Void and
Radiant team pick.
I guess, but the fact that you can lock down the rest of his team. So if you've got fast enough reflexes, you can freeze the rest of his team and if you're good enough with the placement, you could catch him in a position. So, oh god, Lone Druid picked up from TYK. This is one of their signature heroes. They were able to take a dominating Game 2 win against the boys from the Horsemen of the Ruckus in Game number 2, turning their series into a draw just on the back of Lone Druid. I think he had like 60% of their net worth that game.
Yeah. Very powerful in Pandy's hands.
Yeah, Pandy is an absolutely phenomenal Lone Druid player. He also plays a fantastic Pandarian Brewmaster. I think Bambi Rising actually choose to always respect ban Lone Druid as their second ban against TYK because they don't want to deal with it. So we'll see how 2IP do.
Seconds remaining.
I haven't actually seen 2IP play, so I don't really know what they're gonna pick up.
Yeah, this is their first series they've played. So they've got about 14 games to play in the next week before the playoffs end. So it looks like they're in for some action-packed Yoda. And so we've got the Bane Elemental, pretty standard ban, especially in conjunction with the Mirana. You have to sleep into arrow combination coming out. Vengeful Spirit picked up, very strong support hero, scales well into the game. I noticed that you guys don't actually go for Vengeful Spirit all too often. Is there any particular reason for that?
We often just don't pick it. I don't know. There's quite a lot of options for support picks, so you know we don't pick VS often because there's lots of other supports to pick as well.
That's always true. We've got an Invoker picked up. Do you reckon in this lineup it'll be Quas Wex, or do you reckon it'll be Quox Exort?
I think Quas Wex is probably the best choice here. This is very powerful draft coming from 2IP though. The Lycan.
Yeah. I'm loving the Lycan coming out as the carry pickup. They're recognizing that Lone Druid, he's going to be going for that split push. They're saying, hey, we're going to outpush you. If you want a base race, we're more than down to throw down with that. We've got Dazzle, Vengeful Spirit, and Lycan. So we've got a huge amount of pushing power coming out from them.
And they're on the dire side, right? They have a lot of negative armor to take down Roshan with if they pick up a medallion.
Yeah, that's that dire side advantage. I would like to see Lycan rush for that medallion of courage as it significantly increases his DPS output. I know you guys like to run Lycan a lot as your tri-lane carry. Do you like for him to forgo Feral Impulse and max out Howl, or do you just go for 1 point that Howl?
I think 1 point and Howl is pretty good. Feral Impulse is pretty useful to take early on and max out first after your wolf.
Yeah, because I noticed in the European team, whenever they pick up Lycan, they actually completely forgo Feral Impulse in exchange for maxing out Howl. And that does have a lot of merits to it. I mean, 50 extra damage for every member of your team, globally applied, that can be quite significant. Especially as Dazzle and Vengeful Spirit hit pretty hard.
It's actually really good with the Howl max build is really good with pushing lineups like with Chen and Furion and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
they have lots of summons, they hurt a lot, like they hit the tower really hard.
Nature's Prophet with the trees, or Broodmother, God forbid, with the Spiderlings, they all get the Howl buff. Can absolutely mow through towers.
10 seconds remaining.
They haven't picked their mid laner yet, so they'll be up against the Invoker. So what heroes do you reckon can go toe-to-toe with the Invoker and beat him, especially if he goes for that Quas Wex?
Well, OD's already been
Reserve time.
Huh?
Radiant team pick.
And I think Templar Assassin is probably another good pick. It would actually work really well with their negative armor lineup.
Really? Templar Assassin against Invoker? Huh, I would have thought with Cold Snap and with the sustainability coming out from Quas, Invoker breaks even with Templar. Or if he goes for the Quas X build with the Forge Spirits, you can break away
10
Refraction.
seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Yoshi?
Reserve
So
time.
TYK? Yep. Okay, you just dropped up for a bit.
Dire team pick.
Yeah,
And-
I'm back.
Okay, cool. So we got Lion as the third pick, as the third support hero coming out for TYK. So he's going to be operating that tri-lane with Mirana, Nyx Assassin, and Lion. Very strong, aggressive tri-lanes. You've got the 2.5 second Hex at level 1 from Lion, the Impale coming out from Nyx Assassin, and the Arrow from Mirana. Triple stun, triple nukage. Lone Druid against as the offlaner. Do you reckon he'd have an advantage against Clockwork, or do you reckon Clockwork beats Lone Druid?
No, I think
Having a bit of lag on my end. Okay, cool. And we've got, yeah, you're right, Templar Assassin up against Sancto Valory on the Invoker. I would have thought that if he went for the Quas Exort build, though, with the Forge Spirits, he could break away the refraction charges. But is it just the fact that she could just deny him in lane early on?
He has to go Exalt build because there's no way he will get anything done at mid. playing with.
Prepare for battle.
Ah, I see. So just going to quickly introduce the players from both sides. We have their captain for TYK, Yoda. He played a pretty good Chen in the last game, now showing off his skills as that mid-Templar assassin. He's going to use the Force, as well as the side blades, to cut through Invoker. Mule, their support player over on Dazzle. Woof, who played the mid-Dragon Knight in the last game, playing that safe lane Lycan. Saladmi, who played the Chaos Knight in the last game, now playing over as a Vengeful Spirit. And Too Easy, the offlaner from the last game who played Mirana, now over on the Clockwork. We'll see how he does this time. And so we've got Pandy over from TYK, playing his favorite hero, the Lone Druid. Valory, who played an absolutely phenomenal Naga Siren, MVP of game number 1. Playing that Invoker, hasn't chosen to skill up a regen yet. He's going to be seeing what he'll be up against. Golfy, playing Nyx Assassin once again, was great with his impales in the last game. Kukar Pang, who played the Death Prophet over online. And Mickey Mouse, their carry player, over on the safe lane Mirana.
It's quite interesting that they that TYK's players switch their lanes around a lot. Like Valory was on the support now before, and now he's mid Invoker, and Kukapang was mid before, and now he's support Lion.
Yeah, I think it's just based on heroes more so than roles. So TYK, they all have their signature heroes, and they choose to play their lanes based on that instead of based on what role they play.
The battle begins for good and all.
I mean, compared to us, I mean, our team's quite inflexible in terms of laning, other than switching our off lane and mid once in a while.
Yeah, Snow always takes that mid lane. He likes to hog mid. You're always on support, and Flash is always farming.
Yep.
So who do you reckon has the advantage in the try-v-try situation, since they're choosing the Clash try-v-try, as Lycan doesn't really offer all too much as a safe lane carry compared to the Mirana?
I think the Lycan is fairly weak in the lane, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean,
actually have a rotation happening mid. Kukar Peng went over. Yoda's taking a lot of damage. Exalt build coming up from Valory, but he should be fine. Does a lot of damage to him though.
He must have missed the arrow, I think.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah,
he went arrow at 1. He missed it, as I didn't get a kill. But with that, immediately taking good use of that haste room. But over in the top lane, Nyx Assassin goes too far forward and goes down. Wolf playing Wolfman, cuts him down.
That's not good. You can't afford to give up a kill like that when you're doing an aggressive target. Now they're the other team supports are gonna have a lot of experience on top of your own support.
Yeah, although one of the things to keep in mind though is Dazzle isn't the greatest roaming support hero. I mean, you do have the Vengeful Spirit, so Poison Touch into Magic Missile is strong. But he doesn't really offer all too much aside from that Shallow Grave and that Poison Touch. Quick pulls coming up from Yoda. Net Cafe that he's at. Oh wow. It's actually kicked them out. Okay. This seems pretty interesting. Quick what? Coming up from Invoker. I know Bambi Rising, I think he, against the series against TYK, he had to call a 15-minute pause while he sprinted to his mate's place because the Net Cafe closed at 10 o'clock. And there's something like a 60-70-minute game. I think Flash for casting that one. Was a bit annoyed I didn't cast that one, since the series I casted turned out to be a 2-0 stomp. So Wolfcant taking a little bit of harassment.
This is really unlucky. Look, the ward is just out of vision. You see it?
Yeah, I see it.
The Dire's top tower.
Wow, that actually
Literally like a millimeter away.
I don't think I've seen that safety ward before. That's actually a pretty interesting ward to place over for the.
Yeah, it's a very interesting location for that.
I guess they recognized.
Really fortunate for Radiant.
Yeah. They'd be going for that D ward. So Pandy having an absolute ball of a time, leading at 11 for 2. He's really showing off why Lone Druid is respect banned against him. Clockwork only sitting about 5 for 0. Not able to accomplish all too much. In the mid lane we see Valory. He's doing okay against that Templar assassin. Only 2 CS behind. Yoda hasn't really been going for the sideblade harassment with the refraction so far. But he's been out CSing him, so that's the factor that counts. Arrow flies out mid, just provide a little bit more damage and harassment. Do you reckon for Templar Assassin it's better to go for the phase and the drums build? I mean, I know Blink used to be a pretty standard... Oh, Yoshi's actually disconnected, never mind. Alrighty, so just going to do a quick golden EXP check in favor of both teams. In terms of EXP, 300, just because of that one kill they got in the early stages of the game, as the other 2 heroes in the tri-lane weren't present. So this neutralized by the fact that Nyx Assassin was getting a lot of solo EXP. 400, 500 gold lead just based off the first blood coming up from them. Pandy has been keeping the scoreboard pretty even as he's leading the CS scoreboards at 20 for 4. Phenomenal CS coming out from him. 3 minutes into the game, that means he's hit almost every single creep in the wave. He's maybe missed 2 or 3 in order to have a CS score that good. Vengeful Spirit hanging around. Will be interesting to see if she chooses to go for a few extra points in the aura early on, so they're maxing out that Howl of Terror. I guess with the Dazzle, you do want to max out that Howl of Terror, as you're providing a lot more negative armor. Wolf hanging around. He's gone for 1 in Howl, 1 in Feral Impulse. It looks like Yoshi was right on that. Going to be choosing to max out Feral Impulse second. Feral Impulse is one of the best steroid abilities in the game for your carry, as it provides an increase in base attack damage as well as an increase in attack speed. I think it's 30% at level 4. Yep, Yoshi's just got reconnected in. How you doing, bud? Illusion Room being pinged out. Rotation coming out. So Ladmy's going to grab it. Immediately turns around on Golfy. Could have gone in for a stun, but Golfy had his carry pace up. Blind Impale thrown out, just catches out the illusions. Cold Snap over on Yoda, Invoker running in doing a bit more damage. Yoshi, can you hear me?
Yep, I'm back. The Lone Druid is farming really well. Like I predicted, the Clockwork is...
Oh, Lowland Tangle flying as well as the Sunstrike. That could be a kill. Yeah, looks like 2 Easy's going to go down. He eats one last right click, wasn't able to cog in time. That's why Lone Druid's so frustrating to play against. The fact that once he hits level 5, it's always rolling a dice roll if you get hit by him. Entangle does so much damage and locks you in place.
Yeah, for Clockwork, I mean, getting entangled is almost like a death sentence already.
Yeah, since if you do cog, you're just trapping yourself with a bear anyway. Since Lone Druid's range, he's more than happy with that. Interesting to see, Clockwork hasn't chosen to go for a magic stick pickup. I know that's one of the ways to lane against Lone Druid, is every time he uses return on his bear, you get a charge.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Run, little bottom tower.
I didn't know about that.
Oh, really? It's one of the things from Dota 1 that was kind of like drummed into my head. Whenever you're lane against Lone Druid, pick up a magic wand, because it's kind of like Batrider. Every time he uses return, he's feeding you charges. So if you're playing like a Nuki hero, you can just throw out spells to keep him low, so he can't engage on you. Yoda playing very defensively. What item build do you reckon Templar Assassin will be going for this game? Do you reckon he'll be going for the phase boots into drum?
I'm not too sure. I mean, probably, I think the current build is like trades into either Django or Blink Dagger. Blink Dagger's kind of lost popularity. It used to be a core
yeah.
Not so much anymore.
What was the reason for Blink Dagger dropping off from Templar Assassin? I know it used to be the first item you'd build on her. Now you never see it.
Just because, I guess perhaps people have learned to play around like a Templar Assassin with a dagger, so it's less likely to be caught out by it.
Ah, yeah, I see.
And then, you know, if people aren't getting caught out by a Blink Dagger,
right,
and you're spending 2150 gold on an item that gives you no stats. And,
yep.
I mean, it doesn't really offer you that much.
Looks like a rotation gank attempt happening mid. Valory immediately pops Ghost Walk once he eats that side trap to the face. Yoda loses all her refraction charges, running up, tanking that creep wave. Regeneration rune pinged out by Mule, so he's going to pick that up.
The Invoker's having a really hard time here. He's going Midas, which I'm not sure I agree with. The Midas could, I mean, the 2IP are running a really aggressive lineup. I think this Midas definitely could get punished.
Yeah, especially with Lycanthrope. You know that once he gets a few points up, he's going to start pushing for those ganks. And you see that Sideblade harassment. He took 2 refracted Sideblade hits, and he's already at half HP. Taking a lot of punishment from the Templar Assassin.
Yeah, he's having a really hard time at mid, like I predicted. Even with the Exalt build, you know, it's really difficult against TA.
Clockwork choosing to go for a second point up in Flare instead of that third point up in the Battery Assault. Bit interesting, I guess it's down to player preference. Usually you would like to see him max out the Battery Assault. Gank attempt happening in the middle lane. Hookard Peng. Go, it takes the fall. Arrow did land on Wolfcard, but Dazzle was able to get that last hit in.
This aggressive tri lane has not worked out at all.
Yeah, they haven't really accomplished all too much. Thinking that first blood kill from Nyx Assassin to that tri lane really helped set them up for a fall. Lycan's almost got his Medallion of Courage. He's actually building towards both Vladimir's and Medallion. He's got that chainmail for the Medallion, but he's choosing to switch it up, go for the Vladimir's instead. Bit of an interesting build. We see a dive attempt happening on the middle lane. Yoda immediately being punished by a TP rotation coming out from Kukar Pang. Wasn't able to secure the kill on Valory, who's able to Ghost Walk out. And in the bottom lane, more bear harassment happening on 2 Easy. He almost goes down once again, just from that power of Lone Druid being able to right click you down with the Entangle locking you in place. Pandy having an absolutely phenomenal game.
You need to like toggle your open mic.
Yeah, Yoshi, if you go into your Dota 2 settings, you have an option for enable open mic threshold, so you don't have to keep pressing the mic button. Smoke rotation coming out from Saladmi and Mule. I think Yoshi's just fixing a few mic settings. Lycan's just picked up Vladimir's offering, 8 minutes and 30 seconds of the game. It's a significant pickup as it provides +5 armor to every member and aura range. Really decreases the amount of right-click damage you're taking.
Going on here.
Yep.
There's smoke going on over here.
They're heading towards the middle lane. But Kukar Peng's hanging around as well, so he could be the sacrificial lamb. No swap from Vengeful Spirit. She's only level 3, but with the point up in the stun, as well as a point up in the aura with Yoda hanging around to provide that physical DPS, that meld hit will cut through them like a knife through hot butter. Valory is hanging around. Gets called out with the poison touch. He has Ghost Walk. He's going to invoke it. No dust, no sentries. Very surprising considering
that they didn't bring detection for that.
Yeah, that's the 3rd time Valory's just been going to Ghost Walk and walk his way on out of there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That early point in Wex really saving his bacon. That's the 3rd time he's escaped death now. Leaving Mirana to go.
TYK at this stage, they have lost mid and top, and so they're really reliant on Pandy now because Pandy's the only one who's actually won his lane.
Yeah, Pandy looks like he'll be going for that Radiance build, so he's about 3,000 gold off his relic. Might be picking up in about 10 minutes. Yoda eats a mana drain as well as Impale. Hookshot in from Too Easy, immediately cogs him in, traps out Valory, but Valory just Ghost Walk, says see you later. Golfy comes in with a blind Impale, catches out Yoda.
There's a dust on the Dazzle, they're not gonna pop it.
Yeah, it's too late now. Waste of a first hookshot gives the Radiant support players a 60-second window before Clockwork can start to hunt them down again. Investing a lot of heroes in the middle lane.
Sloppy play.
Yeah, while that's happening, keep in mind Pandy's been free farming the bottom lane. He's the hero you want to invest all these heroes in. He's got no escape mechanism, he's just tanky. And he's going to be able to take a free tower if they continue to leave him alone. Clockwork's immediately rotating bot. Double damage rune picked up by Templar Assassin. Oh dear god, she has phase boots flying in. She'll be going for the drum pickup most likely, as it gives her an excellent amount of chasing and mobility. I've noticed that with
I think it's actually quite likely she's going for a dagger. Because she's got 1,000 gold saved up on top of her phase boots.
Huh, that's true. So we'll be seeing Yoda kicking an old school. We'll phase into Blink Dagger. I guess against the greedy draft coming out from the Radiant side, they could punish Invoker going for that Midas. Once they have dust up on Invoker, because he still doesn't have his Midas 11 minutes into the game. He's going to pick it up if he gets one more CS. But he's been playing really passively, really defensively. Hasn't been able to accomplish all too much.
I think it's really, you know, the failure of the supports to not bring the detection to gank the Invoker. That's really let Invoker get away with his Midas choice.
Yeah, definitely. If they even were able to kill him once or twice, they could really shut him down. Clockwork being bullied out of lane by that bear. He's really hating Lol Tangle. He's got 3. He's picked up a magic one now, so he's able to get some regeneration. Smoke gank happening. Smoke breaks. Nyx Assassin's called out. He's going to eat a poison touch to the face. Follow up with the side trap. Pops his carrier pace, but Yoda's patient, eats the impale to the face. They turn around. Pandy's around as well. He's going to eat the damage coming out from the melt strike as well as the battery assault. Pandy eats a magic missile to the face, but with no vision, I don't think they can do anything. Saladmi actually might take a fall right now. Kukar Pen comes in. There's no dust. Yoda is hexed up, breaks through his refraction. He's sitting there duking out with the bear. Pandy's just wandering around the background, saying, "Go bear, go." He feels like a Pokemon trainer right now. He's just cheering. Lol Tangle up on Yoda. He has refraction though, so he's going to be able to. He should be fine. Kukar Peng, as well as the Nyx Assassin, they don't stagger their stuns perfectly, but Too Easy's going to take a fall. He's trapped out. Era actually hits a creep. Yoda comes back in, runs in. He wants to get a kill on Golfy. Saladmi's hanging around. He respawned. He TP back in. Yoda eating a lot of damage, refractions down, magic missile wasted on the bear. Lycan able to take Roshan in the meanwhile. That's why they're investing so many heroes. They get a kill on the bear, 300 gold, as well as blowing that cooldown for Pandy, but that's the first bear resummon he's had to do all game, so he's more than happy to do that. Midas finally picked up on Invoker 12 minutes into the game.
The Vengeful Square was holding a dust that whole time, and she was entangled here, but she didn't pop the dust, so I think that was a really big mistake as well.
Yeah, really sloppy plays coming out from them.
You can't neglect your detection against like Mirana and Invoker with Ghost Walk.
Blink Dagger just picked up. Arrow flies out, scouts out the rotation coming out from Too Easy. He's got hook shot, so he's going to come in from the side. So we got phase into Blink, very old school Templar Assassin build.
You still can't hear me?
No.
Okay. Apparently people can't hear me in Dota TV. I don't know why that is.
Oh, you have to enable open mic threshold for people to hear you in Dota TV, I'm pretty sure. Also, Yoshi, if you haven't done so already, could you sign out of Steam chat just so players can't message you during the game?
Um.
So just set your
I don't really
Steam.
have a problem with that. Yeah, but apparently my mic's getting pretty bad for the VOD as well.
Yeah, so you usually have to enable open mic threshold to be able to hear anything. I know people couldn't hear me for a while until I enabled that. But nonetheless, it is being streamed to Twitch, so you can always follow the...
Steam status. Oh, here we go. Offline.
Just gonna do a quick golden EXP check while that's happening.
Time.
1,500 lead, EXP lead in favor of TYK. That's due to the fact that the die have been grouping up a lot more. Lycan was just able to split push down the tier 1 tower. 1,000 gold lead, that's that Roshan advantage as well as that tower they just took. Lycan's got Medallion Courage, looks like he's going for a Necrobook, and Maelstrom coming out from Pandy, recognizing that he can't go for the greedy Radiance build. He's going to have to fight a lot more for his team. What are your thoughts on the Maelstrom pickup on Lone Druid?
Oh, I was sure he was going Midas because I saw the Gloves of Haste in there earlier. I think he was going to go Midas and Develop like last time, but it seems he's chosen the Maelstrom build this time. Let's see how well it works.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Maelstrom build on Bear just because it interferes with your Entangle proc. Maelstrom, if it procs at the same time as Entangle, will actually override it. And the fact that it doesn't provide you as much AoE DPS as the Bear, you don't have that split pushing power. Hookshot comes out on Kukar Pang. He's called out on his own, eats Templar, traps in the face. Templar blinks right and throws out a right click. Too easy though, he's about to go down. Never mind, Shallow Grave keeps him alive for 5 seconds. Called out a lockdown, so he might go down anyway. Pandy's up for blood. Roars, they get a kill with Invoking in that one last right click in. Sladmy drops the dust. Not too sure why he dropped. No, never mind. Moonlight Shadow was dropped. Mule gets entangled up. He takes the fall. That's that power of the Entangle as well as the Maelstrom. Yoda blinks back in. Sladmy might take a fall again. Pandy's still out for more blood. He's chasing down Templar. Yoda Assassin pops Meld, but he's spotted out with the Entangle providing vision. He's dusted up. He's going to take a fall with Cold Snap. Magic Missile on the Bear. Actually might keep him alive. Mickey Mouse eating a lot of tower hits in the meanwhile. Throws out an arrow on Yoda, but Yoda just popped a refraction. A few more hits he's got to take before he goes down. Golfy tanking the tower. Actually turn around kill with the Meld. And Yoda survives all of that. My god.
The Radiant's
really
bottom
cool
tower
sunshine
has
button
seen.
invoker on the
Radiant's bottom
Vengeful
tower has fallen.
Oh, he was able to secure that kill, and Kukar Peng instantly dies to Yoda, just being able to right-click him down. Valory's going to take a fall as well. Tries to TP up, might be able to make it. Never mind, cancelled by the battery assault. 2IP punishing the over-aggression from TYK, smacking them down.
Yeah, that was quite an overextension from TYK.
Especially against a Templar Assassin who had enough time to get 2 refractions off as well as 2 melts, had a 1, had a bottle. You gotta respect the
Radiant's middle
refraction.
tower is under attack. That's not gonna hold.
And great plays coming out with Wolf Cut immediately taking a tier 1 tower. And he's got level 1 Necrobook, maxed out Feral Impulse now, so he's going to start transitioning around. Another thing to keep in note is Feral Impulse actually propagates in a 900 AoE to all units under your control. So Necrobook images get the Feral Impulse buff, your Wolves do, so that actually turns into quite a lot of damage. Phase Boost just picked up by the Invoker. Almost max out that Exile. We've got a blink in from Yoda, but blinks into the Impaler as well as the Carapace. Eats a Sunstrike to the face. Hook shot him from too easy. Catches out 3 in the cogs. Kukar Peg's going to take a fall. Saladmi taking a lot of damage. Yoda meld strikes to avoid damage. Meatball dropped him. Might be the kill off too. Mule taking a lot of damage. Bear goes down. Too easy. Still alive with that Shallow Grave being able to keep him up. Valory in the thick of it. Pandy takes a fall. Valory's going to go down. 2 IP, none of them go down during that. Mickey Mouse falls as well. 5 for none. Aegis did not pop during that fight. That's a tier 2 tower going for free. That's another level in the Necrobook up for Lycan.
Should really do something about that middle tower.
Any thoughts on that fight, Yoshi?
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. As all towers someday must.
It decided that, you know.
Yeah,
Hello,
I'm
can you
here.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You cut out a bit before.
Yeah, the Clockwork hookshot is the one that carried them through that team fight. I think if that Clockwork didn't hit that 3-man hookshot, that fight could have gone the other way.
Yeah, catching 3 out in the cogs as well as that battery assault meant that those 3 players were instantly marked for death. There was nothing they could really accomplish. Aegis is going to be reclaimed by Lycan, so he's going to get that regeneration from that. Almost level 3 Necro Book. He's going to get a sub 20-minute Necro 3. Blade Mail up on
Dire's
Clockwork.
bottom tower is under attack. Run, little
Desolator picked up by Templar Assassin. This could be game for a TYK. 10,000 gold lead. As well as a 4,000 EXP lead. They lost those 2 fights back to back. That dive was punished mid. They immediately took a tier 2 tower and then wiped them again. 2 IP playing fantastically. With Desolator up on Templar Assassin, I do not want to be on the receiving end for that.
One other thing to note is that the lone druid actually resummoned his bear just before he died, so it's actually still on cooldown.
Oh wow, that is absolutely critical. Like the Visage, you don't want to feed your familiars because when they're off cooldown, it really hinders your ability. In Lone Druid's case, the bear is 80% of your hero until the later stages of the game. So Lone Druid without a bear is like a Pokemon without any Pokemon. All he can do is throw balls at you.
The Templar Assassin just looked onto the cliff.
Bit of misplays coming up from Yoda, underestimating the blink range. If you overestimate blink range, you only blink to about 80% of the intended distance. It's a carryover from Dota 1. I don't know if they should still keep it in Dota 2, as it was just a mechanical limitation from Warcraft 3. But nonetheless, it's here to stay. And there you go, Necro 3.
This Observer Ward is just out of range of the Sentry again.
Oh wow, Radiant side being so lucky with their wards, just slightly out of vision. Maybe it's intended. Maybe they study their opponents, but considering this is 2IP's first game in the ODL.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And they're grouping up for a push. The Midas build on Invoker, very greedy, he's being punished. Too easy hanging around.
He's scouted out their smoke.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yep, he drops his cogs, he's gonna run for the hills. Arrow whiffs, eats a Maelstrom, but that wasn't entangled, so Bear can't do anything to lock in place. They take a free tattoo while that was
I
happening.
don't mean in love.
Desolator as well as Hal, Feral Impulse, and the minions. Templar says immediately jumps in on Pandy, doing a lot of damage. Dust pops, Golfy loses half his HP, Hookshot comes in, catches out Valory, Meatball drops, doesn't really catch out anybody, Carapace drops, Too Easy is able to stand his ground up against Valory, bring him down. Pandy's bear goes down, it's on cooldown for 2 minutes now, Pandy's on the run, I don't think they have vision of it, never mind, Moonlight Shadow just ended, Medallioned up, but I don't think they could get the kill.
Dire's middle tower
Without a Vengeful Spirit swap. They were able to win that fight without a Vengeful Spirit swap. That just shows you how far ahead they are right now. Templar Assassin did take a fall. Did Dazzle get off a Shell of Grave during that fight or no?
I didn't really see, but I think at this point, I mean,
Were you aware that
yeah,
the
you
Recon
can't
barracks were being
afford to
attacked?
lose too many mid-game fights against Lycan, because Lycan will just...
Great 3-man Impale, followed up with the Finger of Death, finishes off Lycan, eats a Magic Missile to the face in retaliation, Sladmy eats a mid-range arrow, Too Easy cops a Starstorm, looks like he's going to be going down, he eats a Hex, Golfy runs into range of the cogs, burns him a mana so we can't follow up with an Impale, but the Wolves in the meanwhile are just right-clicking down that range racks. Blink Dagger picked up on Nyx.
Overextension from 2IT.
Yeah, they're being punished now for overextending. But would that kind of lead, though, if they win a fight, one of the things that people hate against playing against Lycan is the instant you lose a fight, you pretty much lose the game, as he's able to take racks before you can respawn. Roshan will be up in 30 seconds, so the Dire side are going to be waiting for that to happen before they group up and push again.
Illusion.
No mech up on either of the supports. Dazzle, looks like Vengeful Spirit's going for it. She's about 800 gold off. She'll be having it pretty soon. Never mind, she's just picked it up right now. Choosing not to max out Magic Missile and going for an extra point and the Hal as well as the Vengeance Aura. A bit surprising.
I think maxing the Vengeance Aura should be her priority now, because it's really powerful with the Lycan and the pushing lineup that 2IP are running.
Yeah.
I think TYK really can't afford to lose any more fights anymore. The next fight they lose, the Lycan will actually take like 2 lanes of Rex.
Pretty much, with the damage aura coming out from Vladimir's, as well as the Feral Impulse on his minions, and the Vengeance aura, Lycan and his minions are doing so much damage right now. Level 3 Necronomicon, so he's going to be going for a BKB next.
Roshan.
Yeah, and they're going for a Roshan attempt. Sunstrike scouts it out, but there's nothing they can do. With Medallion Courage and those minions beating it down, Roshan's going to take a fall. You have to keep in mind, Necro 3 images actually do a crap ton of damage. And the melee one actually burns 75 mana per right click, so it actually is quite substantial, especially with the attack speed aura coming out from Feral Impulse, as they have a 1 base attack time, so attack speed buffs on the creeps do a lot more damage compared to on heroes, as heroes have a base attack time of about 1.7 for most. This Invoker pickup
It's a really powerful push coming up.
really hasn't been all too effective, because he was forced to go for Quas Exort. He wasn't able to get all too much using that Sunstrike. I mean, he's helped out with 2 kills, and his Meatball does do a lot of damage, but he needed that Tornado into EMP combination to help delay these pushes.
Oh, I really don't like the Invoker's build. He only has 1 point in class. This is...
Yeah, I
I'm not
wasn't
too sure what he's kind of doing with this build.
really too sure of that. Valory, who played a phenomenal Nagasarian, kind of dropping the ball with Invoker. That greedy minus build being heavily punished will be interesting to see if he decides to go for that Zoo build with the Necro. As with the Forge Spirits coming out with 4 points up in Quas, as well as 4 points up in Exort. The Necro Book of Images and the Cold Snap, you actually have a significant amount of solo ganking power. Pandy's been doing his best to carry his team through on the signature hero, but there's only so much his bear can do. Almost has his Molnir up. Actually has the gold to finish it, but could be going for an Assault Cuirass instead to counteract the negative armor.
He should go for the Assault Cuirass. I don't think he can afford to go Mjolnir here, because the bear is really soft, it just dies really easily, and they have a lot of minus armor to take it down as well.
Yeah, I've been noticing that Saladmin's been using most of his magic missiles on the bear. Yoda usually initiates either on Pandy or on the bear to burst it down with the meld as well as the Desolator. Almost has his BKB. Templar Assassin's been having a phenomenal game. Punish the over-aggressive dive.
Assassin's really big. Lycan's even bigger. The Lycan is almost BKB as well. I think once the BKBs come out, like, because Lion and Nick's Assassin do absolutely nothing against BKBs. Invoker as well. It's gonna be really tough once the BKBs are up.
Nyx Assassin did pick up a Blink Dagger, so that's a nice pickup for him. Gives him a bit more utility in these fights. Mirana going for that carry build with Treads into the Yasha, most likely building towards the Manta style. Would like to see a Maelstrom picked up on her instead, just to provide a bit more AoE damage and a bit of a counter push. But I guess the Necro 3 kind of punishes that, since if the images die, the Necro 3 images die to AoE damage, they give out the 600 last word pure damage in retaliation. Just the warrior does at any rate. Grouping up for a push over.
I'd like to see the Dire team pick up a gem.
Yeah, I guess with the Necro 3, they're kind of cocky. They feel like they don't need a gem, so you've got the True Sight from that. But you see some slow sieging coming out with the Wolves. Just doing a bit more damage. Just chipping away at the tower. EMP as well as Tornado. Lycan's going to cop it in the face. He's actually caught way out of position right now. He has the Aegis of the Mortal, keep in mind, so if he does go down, Shallowgrave dropped on him. Invoker drops instantly to Yoda coming in, doing that damage. Wasting a lot of time trying to kill that Lycan is just going to respawn. Yoda immediately turns around that meld on Pandy. Saladmin pulls him back saying, get back here, I'm not done with you. Blink out from Nyx Assassin to keep himself alive. Too easy going on Kukar Peng. He's going to be able to knock him down. Yoda blinks in, throws out a meld strike and takes him down. Yoda's entangled up now, but they're more than happy to do this. While that's happening, the Rax is going down. Too easy eats a Starstorm to the face. Yoda melds. He's hanging around trying to provide covering fire. Too easy goes down to one last Vendetta hit from the Nyx Assassin. But that's the bottom lane of Rax cleared out. 1 for 3. Golfy's running back. Pandy was forced to buy back in that fight. So if his bear goes down, goes back in, gets a kill. Yoda playing balls to the wall. Mickey Mouse, he's going to take another fall to Yoda. Running past him. Is able to leap her way on out, so she should be fine. Bear taking a lot of damage. If that bear dropped, that would be game. Poison Touch from Dazzle actually secures the kill on the Mirana. And they're grouping up for a push over in the middle lane as well. EMP drop by Invoker as well as the Tornado. Misses absolutely everybody. Against the Blinking Templar Assassin, not too much you can do.
I'm not too sure why the Invoker's choice of spells here are EMP and Tornado, because the Tornado doesn't do anything with 1 point in cloud. It doesn't hold them in the air for long enough, and the Wix is only level 3, so EMP doesn't do that much either.
Yeah, would have liked to see the Deafening Blast into Meatball. I know that's the pretty standard Invoker combination.
Yeah, Meatball would be the Meatball is the spell to hit, but he's really gives himself with this skill of not taking point in class.
He's picked up a Yule Scepter, but that's not really going to offer him all too much. Yule Scepter on Invoker, you want to pick it up as early as possible so you can get solo ganks in. You use it to lift them up and land a Sunstrike and follow up with the Cold Snap. But since he had such a terrible start against the Templar Assassin, few Gakatab happening on too easy. He's going to take a fall, does a lot of damage to the Radiant side just with his Blade Mail.
Oh, that's got to hurt.
Just going to do a quick golden EXP check. 7,500 EXP in favor of 2IP. And 15,000 gold lead. That's a significant gold advantage in their favor. Roshan will be up in a few more minutes. Lycan did take a fall during that. He was able to tank all the damage coming up from the Radiant side. He was able to play balls to the wall, but with that Shallow Grave as well, wasted an additional 5 seconds of the Radiant team side. He could DPS them, knowing that when he died, he'd instantly respawn. Mule actually going?
Actually, really good play with the Dazzle. I mean, the problem we had when we ran the Templar was that our carry wasn't aggressive enough because
Flash, please.
the Lycan's about to die here.
Lycan going 1v5. Never mind. Yoda's going to back him up. He kills Valory. Golfy takes a fall with one meld hit with the Desolator. Bear's about to take a fall as well. Yoda is cleaning up. He says, I got your back. Kukar Peng takes one hit. Goes down to about 100 HP. Wolfcunt right clicks him down.
Radiant's top tower no longer radiates.
And
I think they can actually take all 3 lanes of Rex here.
yeah, this looks like game. Against Lycan, if you lose a hero, you lose a Rex. You can't fight 4v5 against a Lycan. You can't outpush a Lycan. One of the reasons why he was consistently nerfed in the past few patches, just because of how powerful he was. One of the reasons why Naga Siren was picked up as a counter pick with that ensnare to hold him down during his ultimate form. Yoda taking a lot of damage, but he's really been the MVP of this game. He's been providing phenomenal play on that Templar Assassin, punishing any dive attempts happening on him, giving Woof time to be the free farm. Bear's going to take a fall again with the poison touch with that negative armor. It drops instantly. It's a very soft bear. Mule eats an arrow to the face. Yoda caught up in the hex as well as the impale. Too easy eats a finger, but popped his blade mail right as he got fingered. Kukar Peng drops to the side blade, spill damage. Yoda blinks and kills off Valory with one last hit. That's Mega Creeps, that's an Aghanim Scepter, up on Mule. Too easy takes a fall from the Starstorm, but Mickey Mouse instantly drops. And that's game for TYK. There's no way they can recover from this. Good impale coming up from Nyx Assassin, providing a bit of covering fire. Mirana forced to buy back, but they're going to be taking the fall. That's Mega Creeps. 29 minutes into the game. Yoda throws out one meld hit, almost kills Mickey Mouse. He can 3-shot him at this point in the game.
Yep, there's not much more to say about this game.
No, that's Jamie's. Yeah, I think so. I think he is. Tier 4 goes down. No GG called yet by TYK. They're going to let them take the racks.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Nyx Assassin goes in. Yeah, there we go. GG's being called. Well played for the boys from TIP. Looks like this series is a draw with TYK taking game 1 and 2IP taking game 2. That's it for this series, but I believe there are 3 games happening tonight at 9 to 9:30. I'll be casting Blink up against Struggle at 9, so it'll be good to see you boys faring off against Struggle.
Yep. Okay, see you then.
Alrighty, see you there, Yoshi.